Alright, so now we have all the parts made, we have most of our sub-assemblies made, so we're going to start on our final assembly. What you're going to do is we're going to open up a new assembly, and the first thing that we're going to bring in is going to be our base, so it's part 17, our base. We only need one of those. Now we're going to bring in part 16. This is that actuator stop bar. And we're going to drop this here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get a side view. And again, your things might come in a little bit different than mine, but this guy's going to get attached on this end. So I'm going to turn it. So I'm going to use G, I'm going to spin it around, and then place it sort of where it's going to go. And then I'll orbit just to kind of see where that leaves me. That's alright, that's pretty good. So, first thing I'm going to constrain is I'm going to go ahead and constrain the bottom of this piece to the bottom of our base. So constrain, bottom, bottom. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is mute my sound. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain, we want this offset a little bit so it doesn't sit right against the corner. It's offset in just a little bit. So I'm going to constrain this end line, and I'm going to move it 1.625 away from the corner. And again, you want to do it in that order. You want to click on the first line, type in your offset, and then click your second line. Alright, so that should be stuck there, won't be able to move. The next thing we're going to bring in is going to be the part that's going to be like that would hold those syringes. So that's part 15. And I'm going to use G, and I'm going to just tilt it a little bit. Alright, that'll work. And I'm going to constrain the end, so the short line that's on the end, to the side of our base. And again, we're going to do another offset with this one. And this time I'm going to offset the front of this 3 inches away from the edge here. So it pushes it back 3 inches. When you're done, it should look like this. And your part should not be able to move. Alright, now I'm going to spin my piece around a little bit. So I'm going to click on the front. So I'm looking at the top here. So yours might be different. You just want to look at the top. And then we're going to flip it around, and now we're going to bring in our sub base. So we're going to find our sub base assembly. I'm going to pop that guy in. Now I'm going to use G and rotate it around so that I get it the way I want it. And the way that I want it is actually the way it is right now. So I want it just like this. And I'm going to place it over in this corner, but obviously on top of my base. Okay, so the constraints for this are very, very simple. You're going to use 2. It's going to be side to side, and then back to back. Alright, so that's the first part of our final assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and save it right here, just so in case we make a mistake later on, we won't lose all of our work. So I'm going to go to the I, save as, and I'm going to save this as final assembly. Alright, so in the next section, I'll show you how to add the arm, and we'll finish this thing up. But again, we're not adding any more new assemblies. We're just going to keep adding on to this one. This is our last assembly, so we're just going to keep adding more and more things to here. So no more new assemblies after this point. We're just